What up, everyone? I'm here with the second part of my Men of War video commentary on this map, Country 4 vs 4. Okay, I recently just moved my infantry to the middle of the map there, and they're kind of floundering in the water. I'm just hoping that they remove the capture points from the British, which they do. And I'm still shelling the enemy Sherman with my Chinook, and the allies still firing rockets around all over the place. Basically, we're just trying to destroy the enemy infantry so that we can secure a position on the flag and prevent them from winning, because in the first part of the video they were quite close to winning. I mean, I'm just attempting to blow up those infantry behind those walls there, and it appears to be going pretty well. I mean, it's not too bad. My ally moves up a half track on the right, but it gets destroyed by a Crusader AA. I noticed my allies' rocket launcher crew over there died, so I make an attempt to recrew it. At this point, I don't even really know what I'm going to do with the Sherman, because it's starting to really mulch up some of my infantry. So I'm really not really sure what to do. I just recrew the rocket launcher and launch the rocket off to some random spot on the map. I don't really know. You know how it can be really annoying. At this point, my assault infantry are moving into position, and I'm trying to fire my rockets at the Sherman in an attempt to get a direct hit and to destroy its hull or engine or some other vital components. I think I launch one more rocket at it. It's minimal effect, and then I decide to put my rocket launcher and hold fire, and I move in my assault infantry there, which are kind of just sitting there at the moment. He's attempting to shell my 200mm back, which will be bad, because if a 200mm launcher blows up, it causes a shitload of damage and it destroys everything around it. So I really do not want that to happen. So I make an attempt. I move with one of my assault infantry guys there in an attempt to throw a bomb on the anti-tank on the enemy tank. I throw it on the enemy tank. It blows up, and then it doesn't get destroyed. It just gets confused. So at this point, I'm hoping that the guy has a Molotov and he can chuck on the engine to set it on fire, because if you set an engine on fire in this game, you pretty much win. So I move on my machine gunner. He throws his anti-tank bomb. I get another crew confused. Although I think this guy has a Molotov as well, and he throws it. Yeah, that's what ends up happening. And then I think it sets the engine of it on fire, and it's pretty much over for that Sherman, which was really giving me a headache. So now I'm basically attempting to my assault infantry, there's this Jeep coming, and I'm pretty sure that most of these infantry get killed. He's attempting to use the Jeep to pull a 17-pounder on the left side of the map, but it gets smoked by my Chinook, which at this point I wasn't even controlling. So the AI in this game, which I normally smash for being terrible, actually did a pretty good job at taking out that enemy tank. And then I don't really know what's going on. I think I move over to this side of the map because I see an enemy vehicle and I mark it. And then at this point, I see an enemy Achilles with tank destroyer, 17-pounder, very, very dangerous. Could easily blow up pretty much any Japanese tank in the game. I launch a rocket, gets his hull crushed by Type 90, and then I launch 200mm at it. Doesn't have very much of an effect though. And then I realized that, well, we're doing pretty well for Japanese. I mean, they're the Brits. They got all the heavy technology at their disposal, and we're pretty much raping them, literally. All they're doing at this point is pretty much sending Jeeps and not really doing a whole lot at all. I mean, at the beginning of the game, they had the pressure on, they were close to winning. I mean, he just sends a Jeep to pull away a 17-pounder. We're continuously bombing the crap out of it, so I don't really think that worked too well for him. At this point, the capture point is moving in our favor, as he hasn't sent over infantry to the middle in quite a while. So I'm getting really happy about this. Okay, at this point, the lag, at least in my movie maker here, is starting to subside. I don't really know what happened. But then I realized that they have a turtle. Oh, bad. That's pretty much the heaviest tank in the game. It has 225mm thick frontal armor, which is heavily sloped, and a 32-pounder gun. The 32-pounder gun is just pretty much annihilates anything in the Japanese. If you wanted to, you could probably blow up my Chinook from his spawn if you really wanted to. And the armor is not penetratable with any Japanese cannon from the front. So the only hope is a side shot, or to blow it up with a bazooka or an infantry bomb or Molotov cocktail. But if, luckily though, the guy who's using it is not a total idiot, and he doesn't just move it up right away and get it killed. He uses it to stay back and shell. But unfortunately, since my infantry are kind of protected by the destroyed bridge there, he can't really shell the point very well. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to kind of tell you right now, for the rest of the game, he doesn't do anything with that turtle. Although he probably could easily have pushed up and destroyed like all my armor and AT guns, he makes no attempt to. I try to send over a ninja armed with an AT grenade in an attempt to blow it up, but then I realize he has SMG guys all over the place over there. My ally tries to send over some kamikazes, but I'm pretty sure that they meet the same fate as my ninja. And then I realize, oh, well, why don't I send a guy over in the left flank? It doesn't look like anyone has anything over there. Trying to debate whatever the best type of infantry is, because riflemen have Molotovs. But I'm like, okay, flamethrower infantry is probably the best. So I send him over. I mean, he takes a really long time, because flamethrower infantry walk extremely slow. The guy's screwing around with his turtle. I'm kind of getting worried, because he probably could blow up my Chinu at any second. And then I actually say, if you look at the chat, I say in before Centurion, and then not even like a second later. Well, what do they have? A Centurion. Now, this is bad, because a Centurion, well, actually, it's probably not as bad as because it actually has a turret, so if we try to flank it, you can't really, like, screw around with it. At this point, I'm wondering if my 200mm launchers could have enough range to blow up the enemy Centurion, because if a 200mm like, directly hits a Centurion, it'll pretty much destroy it. I mean, a near hit will also like blow the tracks. It tries to set up a Crusader AA, but my Chinu, which is still alive, I go into direct control and use its cannon I think to dispatch the enemy Crusader. I'm not really sure what happens here, but I'm pretty sure it gets destroyed by either a side shot. Oh yeah. My Chinu blows up the turret of it, and then the main gun follows, and then I think they just abandoned that tank for the rest of the game. Then basically what happens next is he is a Centurion and the turtle, which is basically the two most powerful tanks in the game, basically just sitting there. And at this point I'm wondering, well, why the hell doesn't he move them up? And apparently, well, I don't know, he's too worried about you losing them, because my ally is sending over a shitload of kamikazes, and we have like a whole bunch of infantry in the middle, and anti-tank guns all over the place, so he's worried about getting like destroyed by infantry assaults. And I mean, I would be too, because if you look at the map, we have some guys on the left and the right side of the map. Then I realize, oh no, he's a Firefly, and the Firefly ends up blowing my Chinu, which was there for pretty much half the game. So I was actually really happy with that investment, because I didn't even have to buy a Chito or a Chi-Ri, which is the next heavy Japanese tanks. So now I try to make an attempt to launch rockets at that Centurion, but again, it's still too far out of range. I debate whether or not I should. I think I'd grab some tank crew and try to make an attempt to put some guys in the rocket launcher. He blows up a Ho-Ri-1, the Firefly does, and then I'm starting to be like, oh man, I'm starting to get worried here. He could push through with his armor at pretty much any second he wanted to, and if he manages to do that, well, we're screwed, like literally. But then he moves the Centurion back, and because I tried to launch a rocket at it, but it didn't really have any effect. I mean, it killed the soldiers. Then I realized that a shell just blew up my 200mm rocket launcher's barrel, so I have to repair that. And the Centurion is blowing the crap out of the remains, and I'm worried about, oh god, if those shells land any closer, it does this catastrophic explosion, which will blow up like anything within, like, it'll fucking blow up all the houses. Oh, and that's exactly what happens. A shell blows it up, and that's the catastrophic explosion right there. Then I noticed in the left flank was an incoming Crusader. I had my flamethrower guy that I sent over there a while ago, so I shoot at the engine, and then my ally infantry there throws up an AT grenade, which blows up the Crusader, and I send over my flamethrower guy further into the enemy. At this point, the enemy is starting to actually push with more infantry, and I'm starting to get really worried, like, oh, we're going to lose. But then I realized the flag is 100%